Howdy, howdy, everybody that's already on here.
What's going on?
We're changing it up. We're doing what we originally meant for this to be, which was a tech type of a thing. We got so many bows to restring. TJ said, let's restring a couple on the live feed. And I said, let's do it. So I'm going to whoop out this Bear Truth 2. I hear a crotch rocket coming down the road somewhere. We're going to restring it real quick. And then I've got a blown up PSC inertia we got to fix. If we can get that done tonight, that would be great.
Y'all probably won't see a lot of me tonight. I'm going to be behind
Oh, you'll see him
for a little bit.
We're bringing him out. I'm going to snatch all this off here. And TJ's watching the comments, that sort of thing. So comment away. We got a string made for this joker.
Jeff said he mailed us that Annihilator broadhead today.
Heck yes. That just means I got to set up our obstacle course. Maybe we should like release live pigs. Hold that for just a second. And fire off at them and be like, well, here's what happened.
What's going on, William?
We restringing a bow here. I was actually considering not going live because we got so many bows that have been dropped off. But TJ was like, listen, restring a couple of them on here. I was like, all right.
What's going on, Matthew?
This is different. Come on, pop off of there for me. Hold that for just a second.
What's up, Chris? What's going on, Brad?
Thank y'all for tuning in.
What's going on, Zach?
Maybe we'll have a bow blow up or something. Live action.
Well, we had the blowed up crossbow that was cocked and everything else on us that time.
Yeah. We got a Bear Truth 2 here. If you're just tuning in, putting a new string on it. It's a green and orange string, and the old string was looking pretty old. See if you can finagle that back on there.
Uh-oh.
It goes over that bushing. It's so dang slick. So we're putting new strings on it. Green and flow orange. And then he was wanting a biscuit on it, so we're gonna put a biscuit and paper tune it and all that real quick. And then I got that, the story goes like this. A guy dropped off a PSC inertia to me Monday. He got it through some kind of trade and said his brother pulled it back and let it go. Didn't know you weren't supposed to do that, so it exploded. It looks like the cams are okay, but it just derailed pretty much and broke the cable slide. Something cut me on the finger today. So we're going to put the strings back on it, and that won't take but a second, but we'll do that as soon as we get done with this one.
This one won't be stubborn.
We can fix it in a minute if we need to.
Yeah, this won't be.
That's fine. Will that whole bushing come off? When I took that one off, the whole thing popped off, the whole orange piece. Let me get the...
I'm gonna say, you get that off, I can finagle it in there when we get her on there. There we go. Now we're cooking with a little peanut oil.
But, so he dry fired it. Not this one, the PSC. and we're gonna press it and put the strings and cables back on. He said he is trading it for some rims or something, and it broke the air rest in half that's on it when they dry fired it. So he said, I don't care what, just put something cheap on it. So we went in our junk box and found some old TM Hunter rest we're gonna put on it. He don't care, so we'll get it back together.
Brian Donahue said he shot a tree too back in the day.
I'll tell you what, this bow, well, the era of this bow, the Game Over, what else? That was like, to me, when Bear got back on the map, because before this was a bunch of junk for a while. I remember 2002 or 3, I talked to Bear about getting them, and I can't remember which model they brought us. In the first shot in the shop, they had these little limb saver things that were inside the riser, and they fell off. And I was like, you think we're going to buy these? And I said, I'm not even the end consumer. I said, but if this would have happened to a customer, I'd be pissed. And I was like, we'll pass. But then round about this time, it was when they really started doing all this green anodizing stuff. I was like, okay, these are good shooting bows. And now I'm glad that we carry Bear, because they've came a long way. Mostly what we sell in the Bear lineup is the $500-600 and under category, but they still like the Status Echo and all that. We got a couple of them. They shoot good. But most people, if you're gonna get up around over $600, you're probably gonna go ahead and go with a Prime or a Matthews or a Hoyt or something like that. It is hot in here.
Yeah, it is.
Jackie, who helps us, and is elderly. He's not really elderly. He's like 62. He likes to keep it like 78 in here. We die at 78. We like to keep it about 61.
Well, you told him the power bill was high, so that's why I quit running
Yeah,
down.
I said something about having a $600 power bill, and he's like, "We'll save Jeremy some money," and now we all about to die.
Mm-hmm.
But so if the air kicks on in a minute, it'll be loud because the camera's right over there at it. But don't freak. I need y'all to stay calm. That joker must have done some stretching. Alright. Put my handy dandy cable slide back on. There it goes.
And just pushing it might want to go back in here.
If y'all can't hear us for a minute, stand by. This will turn off in a second.
Brad said his cousin brought his Elite 134 to the house today, and he said, "Look and shoot the string in through." Zach asked, "What do you think about the Bear strike or salute?" Sorry.
We'll talk about it when the air goes off.
Alright.
I'm gonna get another peek. This thing's in there. Do what now?
Hold it up. I'm about wondering if it's pushing the blade to come out.
Right off that. I agree. I like it chili.
I do too.
If I got lobster.
That sucks, Brad, about the puppy chewing the strings on the bow. That really does.
Yeah, money. We're in the 3/16 handheld.
3/16 handheld.
You go.
3/16. They were all right here.
This thing looks like that thing's on there,
Uh-oh.
and it don't feel good. That's what I'm worried about.
Uh-oh.
Let's get up the orange one.
Gotta be right here on the...
TJ cleaned all this up perfect, and in about 48 hours I destroyed it again.
It wasn't even 48 hours.
Let me go look up here.
I looked up front, didn't see. Check your pocket. Got her.
See what you got, T-Bob. Give it all she's got. This might turn into a drilling out of a riser. This would be great.
It's gonna strip it. It's gonna strip it.
Damn it. Didn't feel good my first try. Oh shit.
Nope.
Alright,
Have we got a metric?
here's what, yeah. Right here.
Try a metric.
Not too good. Alright, here's plan B. Give me a hammer.
What's going on, Jeff, Perry, and Leon? What y'all up to? Perry, I done tried to teach him housekeeping, but every time I do it, it goes back the way it looks now, so.
Every shop I've ever worked in was always a mess. No matter how much we tried to keep it right. I need a hammer, no joke. So here's what I'm gonna do, y'all. This has happened before. This is an old junk rest with a rounded out head. I'm gonna gently tap this thing down and hope that it loosens this bolt up, because he said this rest is junk. That's about far down as I can go. And now we're gonna try to get it loose, although this bolt does not look promising. Now we see why he's wanting to change it. Wanting us to do it.
That's right, Jeff. Organized chaos.
That joker's not happy. But anyway, yeah, every shop I've ever been in has been a mess.
Jeff says, just watching and laughing at you guys like every week.
I know. That one's not. Look, they've worked on this one.
Oh, Lord.
We got, all right, we got all kinds of stuff going on. Come on and listen up for me.
Perry said, he said, I'm watching the chaos and use of hammer on a bow. I have thrown one before, but not use a hammer.
When in doubt,
D-wall.
Hammer it out. Yeah, wait till we get the drill and the grinder out.
Oh yeah.
Come on, buddy. I'm scared to just whoop. It's wanting to round worse.
You can't get a metric in it?
No.
All right, let's try some.
Y'all are in for a treat. We didn't know we was gonna get into all this. Where's that other? We can't put this on YouTube if I have to grind the head off of this bolt. They'll be like, what is going on at that shop?
All right, now. I know there's another 3/16 somewhere.
Yeah, see if that one will get a better bite.
That's a 5/32. 8 7/64. Quarter.
What's that right there? That's her. Woo! All right, here's what we're gonna do. You come work this. I'm gonna push on the bow so you can get a good bite, and just see if you can
No, that's gonna strip her.
Yeah, it's just twisting. Well, hell.
Hey.
We'll take this all the way out.
Yeah, you'll like it, Jeff. You'll like it, podium peep with that kit and everything. That'll be. I wish I'd have bought the kit instead of just buying the.
It ain't rotating. I mean, it's tightening it, but it ain't rotating that bolt at all.
Charles said maybe a set of easy outs.
That's probably what it's gonna come to, or the grinder. Man,
Perry says he's got his saw on the truck.
if sparks fly, I'm doing it over there and y'all not watching. Even though it make for good TV. You talk to him for a minute.
Oh yeah, hey, we got a big rubber band. I forgot you can take a rubber. Chris just said that you can take a rubber band.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And put over the end of it on the Allen head, and it should give it enough grip.
Thank you, Chris. Didn't think about that. Let me find the rubber band.
Next question is, do we got one big enough? You have them all back over here.
Somewhere. Thought maybe some would be up here for arrows.
There you go.
Oh man.
I bet you these ain't gonna be big enough.
Give it the old college try.
Let's see, where am I?
How do we get into this type of situation?
That I do not know. So we're gonna try.
It might work. But
It might, I don't know.
like you say, I wish we had a big thick one.
If I can keep the ends together long enough.
I got one more try of something before I go grind on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that might. You can give it a shot.
Nope, she's still
All right. Next try, we'll see if we can get some vice grips on it.
Yeah.
On the head. And the next try, y'all gonna see sparks fly.
Oh, let's see.
I had them blue vice grips somewhere. Here's some.
Perry says this is the most important and informative demonstration in the archery world in a decade. And then Jeff said maybe a little heat.
I'm scared to heat it too much because I don't want to mess the paint up. Come on, baby. Oh! Oh!
William says plenty of heat in Carolina.
Yes. Well, like the past 2 days hadn't been bad. Now it's getting hot again. Okay.
And Brad says don't force it. Get a bigger hammer.
Look at that. Now, well, y'all can't look at the threads. I don't know if he had it Loctited. There's some kind of goop in there. Luckily there's 2 holes. I'm using another hole.
Oh, here's the tap.
Yeah, let's run it through there. Man,
There's your tap.
I'm gonna clean this one out just to clean it out. I did not know we'd be doing all this.
I didn't either.
I was like, this will be an easy, quick solo cam. We just finished the tracks and then a charger, and then we didn't restrung bows, and there's still a million of them.
Perry said make sure you put it back like it was. Oh, me.
I'm gonna run it through the hole I'm gonna use just to make sure we're good.
John Sheffield said that he shot in front of us last year at TAC.
Really?
You almost got me and my buddy in a fight with the guys ahead when y'all told them to hurry up. They thought it was us. Keep up the good work.
Oh, it was a Partain incident.
It was the Partain incident.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. We have talked about this in the shop for the last year.
We won't shoot with Partain no more.
We won't.
He got ill and started hollering at people in front of us to hurry up, and we were like, "Shut up!"
Yeah.
And anyway,
so we apologize. We didn't know that Partain was going to do that.
you'd have to know the big fella.
Yeah.
But anyway,
we hope y'all had a good time at the TAC day. Because I think that was when I told y'all, I said, I'm going back to the car.
I think the tap just locked down. I'm kidding. Sir, here's your bow back, but we're going to leave this tap hanging in the first hole.
Oh, we just dewalked it.
I've dewalked them before. All right. Enough of this foolishness. The Whiskar biscuit. I'm glad it did not resort to what I thought it was going to resort to, which was me over there at a grinder and telling TJ, y'all talk to him for a minute, and y'all seeing sparks fly across the screen. This guy would have found our YouTube channel and been like, what did y'all do to my bow? I got a funky suspicion. He knew something was up with this thing, though. Where's that bolt at? That ain't it. It's been spray painted. Here it is, see?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's
worried about it coming loose.
He laid the thread locker to it. I mean, laid it. No wonder it wouldn't come off of there. We don't see that much.
No.
Thank God. Okay. I'm gonna flip this around. Put me a string level down here somewhere. What arrow was his? I don't even remember.
That gold tip right there.
Okay. Let me get all my junk here. Oh, it's right here. That's what I'm looking for. I'll go ahead and tie this. We'll get our string level. Beautiful. I'm gonna get the arrow level. Oh, I dropped my serpent. And I'm gonna tie my little inner knot ties that I do. Okay. Get the arrow good and level. Beautiful.
Yeah, it would have been pretty bad if we'd had to get dewalled out and sparks and everything on live.
I mean, it's a daily occurrence here. But to show that on YouTube, people would have been like, what in the world is going on at that shop?
Yeah.
I've always said an archery shop's like a mini machine shop because
you never know what you're going to run into.
I had a guy bring me a riser one time and was like, I stripped out, it had 5, it was a PSC riser, and it was one of the ones with 5 mountain holes in it. He was like, I've stripped out every one of these. Is there anything you can do? And I was like, heck yeah, man. And at the time, I was still making some stabilizers, and I had a machine shop guy that I was buddies with. I took it over there to him, and he was like, good God. But he He got her fixed right up.
Muddy Duck says, "What's up?"
What up, girl?
If you just joined in, you need to, after we get done, you need to watch the first little bit of it. It was quite hilarious.
We had an air arrest locked down on here. We had to beat it off and hacksaw, and Perry was encouraging us to get out a flamethrower.
William says, "Good luck, fella. Got to take a dip. It's hot as balls."
Easy, big fella.
Yeah. I agree. It's warm.
So I tie my little top knocking point thing, hit it with a little brush glue, spray it with some accelerator, let it dry for a second. Then I'll tie my bottom one. Then I'll put my loop on. Then I'll tie the peep in. Then we'll go check all the cam stuff. And then we'll fix a blown up PSC that's over here.
Let's see. Charles asked, "What's more important, leveling the air to find the knock point or measuring the center of the axle length?"
Leveling. Let me just check since you mentioned that and see. Let me put that little axle. 33. So on this particular bow, if I were to center the axle, we would almost be touching the riser shelf. A lot of bows are not centered, especially older bows, but it's according to what bow you're looking at. But a lot of bows you can't do that on. If you can, do it, absolutely. But some you can't. So a bow is supposed to have what they call level knock travel, which means if I mounted an air rest at the top of the bow and put the loop up here, it should feed out the same at any point on the string. So on like a bow like this, I'm just gonna put it pretty much even with a burger hole and roll with it. But some of the newer bows that I know you can measure and put it dead center. I mean, it makes sense to do that, but hit that with a little glue. I used to not do the glue, but occasionally you'll get a knock that'll irritate that little knot and want to untie it. So I'm just barely dotting the what I tied on there.
Nice bright orange D-loop.
Oh, orange. Let that cool off.
You should have put him a glow in the dark one on there.
I ordered some more. It's sitting here. So there it is. Look at that. Bring them in here real quick. Y'all watch this. This is that, I talked about it before, Gibbs Super Glow Loop. Watch this stuff.
Holy smoke.
Did it show up on there?
Yeah, it's showing up good.
That joker's glowing. Anyway, I thought y'all'd like to see that.
Just a little off topic.
I ordered like 3 foot of it. It popped up something I was looking at, and I was like, huh. So I ordered it for some other order we had going. And I think Chris tested it out with the first person, and then we liked it. So I ordered another 10 foot or so.
Oh, Stanley said, "Still killing deer with the original truth." And Muddy Duck says that she loves glow in the dark stuff.
So much to be said. Stanley, we went to Jean's wedding Sunday. I'm sure you've seen the stuff I posted. He was a beaut. Got him married. And he went off to the state park for a honeymoon situation.
Perry said, "So you might explain how to mount the rest at the right level in the sight window of the riser."
right level, it's that one to the riser. Tell me what you're talking about, Perry. I'm gonna grab his old string.
Go for it. Or Perry, you talking about lining up with the burger hole? Is that what you? I mean, let me reread it.
We'll tie in this peep sight.
They said mainly on sites that are flipper or Y for burger hole. Oh, he's talking about rest.
Okay. Like the heights is what you're talking about? Because I mean, in general, I'll put it level with the normal recommendation is to put the arrow even with the burger hole, if that's what you mean. Or is he talking about center shot? We don't know.
We don't. Yeah. I think he might be talking about center shot.
I'm gonna tinker with that in a minute. And then we're gonna check out his idler lean. And then we're gonna shoot through the paper.
Fun times.
Uh-oh.
Throwing stuff at me.
So once I get this tied in, I am going to look at the center shot, see where we're at, and then
Perry said that's it. He said he uses the burger hole for reference and wanted to know for center shot as the next step. He might have got ahead of us.
okay, hang on, I'll talk about all that. So for center shot, what I normally do, just if I'm just eyeballing it, is put the arrow in there. I'll line the string up center of the limb or limb cup, whatever it may be, and then I'll look down at the arrow. So in this case, the arrow's sticking way left. See, is there any way you can show him that? He's going to try string, center of the riser, and then look down at the arrow. I don't know if you can get all that in the camera.
It's going to be hard.
Anyway, and it's sitting over here towards me to the left.
There you go. That's about as good as I can get.
So anyway, I'm going to move it over. There's a couple other ways to check it if you want to be a little more precise. Why they quit making these tools, I don't know. They quit this Golden Key, which is now out of business, and it's a long story, but they made this device, and you would put it on a flat spot of the riser, move this little rubber bead to the string, flip it over, same flat spot, let it down, and you'd move the arrow to the center of it. This is the simplest thing I've ever seen. Works great. They also make, where's our laser? Here.
Right there.
This laser, you got to take the side off, but you put it over there, you line the laser up, you move it in and out, get it hitting the string, and then you flip it around, move the arrow to where you're center of the arrow. So that's pretty fancy. And then what I call the man's way to do it is to take an arrow shaft, lay it down the inside of the riser on the flush, and see if you get an overhead shot. You can see, see how this arrow is way too far to the left. I can make those parallel, and it'll pretty much put it close. It won't be perfect, but it'll be a good starting point. So I'm gonna bump it over, and you can, as long as your stabilizer hole's not offset in any way, you can actually lean it back and line your arrow up with the center of the stabilizer. I think right size. And
Crappy Master RC and Leon said that they still have one of the golden keys.
mm-hmm.
And then Muddy Ducks asked, "What about a 3D shoot date?"
We need to get one.
I know.
I was wanting it to be toward the end of June. That's not going to happen. The week of the 4th, it's not going to happen. When's the next Kiwi shoot, Perry? I hadn't even looked at the schedule since all this Corona mess. I always try to dodge the other local shoots if possible.
Is it because Tab has one and then Kiwi has one?
So we're probably going to be. That joker's moving on me.
Middle to late June at least.
July, yeah.
I mean July, sorry. Normally Jackie has a hook over here somewhere, but I don't see it.
Okay. We're close on center shot. Where'd I set that right there? Tighten this up again. So now I'm going to go put about a twist in the string and get the peak back straight from where I tied it in and compress that twist. I'm going to go to the draw board. I'm going to check and see if this idler wheel is leaning. And then we'll go shoot it through the paper. I'm going to fix the peak first. Actually, let's go check the lean first, because if I got to press it, we can do it once instead of a bunch of times.
Muddy Duck says, "Do we normally have them on Saturdays?"
Yeah. We sure do. Most of the time, it's just a Saturday only deal. We kind of try to do it while we're here already and open and all that. But so let's see what we got here. So we're about 71 pounds. That's good. There's our back wall. Let me get out this little laser. So I use this Spot Hog laser, and it's machine flush. I'll put it on each side of the idler, and it'll tell me if it's leaning. If you didn't have this, you could probably just lay an arrow down the idler wheel. So I'm at the outside of the axle on one side. Pretty much hitting that, yeah. We lucked up on this one and we're good. But ultimately, I'm just measuring it full draw. I'm making sure this idler wheel, since we got a yoke here, is not like super angled one way or another. So we're good. Poundage was good. Idler lean is perfect. So I'm gonna fix the peep and then we'll go shoot it. I could about flip the peep all the way around.
Oh, sorry, fellas and gals. I hit the stand with my foot. Perry says Kiwi is the 18th and 19th of July.
Okay.
Yeah, Muddy Duck says she don't like to shoot on Sundays. That way, no time to rest before having to go back to work, especially if it's hot and a faraway shoot.
Yep. Agreed.
Yep.
Give me one twist. Might be cooking with gas. Okay, all that's on, that's on, that's on, that's on.
And the tab is the weekend before the 11th and the 12th.
So maybe we should aim for like late July or whatever we have out here. Which that'd be, I like to give people a heads up. We just been, I think y'all have heard me say it, but the Corona thing got people dropping bows off like crazy. This is normally our dead time and when we would have more shoots than normal. But I think we got like 14 bows waiting on the string, plus our online stuff.
She said that they're about 4 hours one way from us.
Go shoot it.
Do.
Get a release. I feel it's got a tip in it. Still got to work on that feet. Okay. Let's see what happens. Better up.
Now he had his. He was running one of the fletchings out, but
More running up with this biscuit.
I heard that.
It's a short little draw. Ain't too bad. I'm gonna shoot it again.
Muddy Ducks asked, "Where's a good place to get a bow vise?"
Hang on, and we'll show you what we use. Like, the best is the Baker bow vise, but they're like, I don't remember how, like $300 or
Yeah.
something. And then there's the OMP, which I like almost as much, but they're like $200. And then I'll show you. You can get American. I think it's American archery products or something like that online. They got them for like 50.
And then Perry said, after the Kiwi date, the calendar is clear to our last shoot on August 15th.
The Jamboree. That ain't bad. We'll see what kind of speed we're getting. We were on, I don't know what draw length this is. I didn't check it, but it's short.
I think 26 and a half.
I think you're right.
If I remember what the customer said.
I can't remember what this bow IBO'd at. It was on the slower end, but this is getting to be an older bow too. Which is, I don't even know what the arrow weighs. That's a heavy one. 250.
No, I wouldn't even, I'm gonna say 230.
226. You were on the money. All right. I gotta go twist this pick again. Had it straight, and then when I tied it in and it compressed that twist a little bit, it kinked it, and I put too much twist in it. Ow.
Yeah, I think he's shooting like a 200 grain fill tip.
Yeah, show him when you sit like that.
Yeah. I think he was. I know he said that he had a short draw length and he really wasn't worried about speed. He just wanted more kinetic energy downrange with that short draw.
Yeah.
So he is was running some gold tip Connect Chaos 300 spine, 200 grain field tip, and I don't know, I can't remember exactly how much on the brass outsert that he said he was running.
See what the whole airway is. I'm curious. Well, he'll do it. It ought to be pretty stout. I took another half twist or full twist out of it. I'm gonna see if that fixes it. I'm gonna go shoot it about twice and make sure that peak's good. Right now we're looking pretty straight. $4.98. Woo.
What you gonna send us, Jeff, to work on? But that thing, the whole airway, I'm gonna try to flip it over, was $4.98.
She's good. We good until he gets here to tinker some more. If you'll hang that up,
All right.
I will trade and get this blown up. By.
These people are probably thinking, what in the world is going on with the camera?
So here's what was dropped off Monday, I think it was. This is the one that he dry fired. Joker's dusty. I looked at the cams, they don't look warped, which is as thin as this machining is here is unusual. But he don't want a new string on it, and this string looks pretty rough. He just wants it put back together because he's trading it for something, and it broke this plastic rest in half when they dry fired it. So we're gonna put him something out of the junk box on here. So here goes nothing.
Y'all could be for a interesting show.
For a couple, a couple super chats, we'll have TJ ship this thing.
How in the world did I get brought up into it? Jeff said next year we're going to be doing his divergent, and he's shooting a 566 grain air.
566.
I don't know. I always like kind of shooting a little bit heavier air myself.
Don't kill me, Bo. Woo. This is one of them, and I told him, I was like, you need to restring this thing. This thing's been through, look at how when it jumped off that cam.
I seen that.
He's going to kill the poor fella. I hope that's the one thing. He's going to kill the fella he's trading it to. If you just tuned in, the story on this one is...
Look up.
Yeah.
So if y'all can see that, right where my thumb is, it's hard to see.
Somebody traded him something. He got this bow, this guy. He dry fired it, didn't know any better, or his brother or somebody did. And then he brought it to us and said, just put the string back on it. I'm trading it for some rims. And I was like, well, you can't shoot it with the air rest dangling. And he's like, well, I said, I can find you one out of the junk box. So here goes nothing.
Perry said that he added 100 grains to his a hunting air test. The air weighed in at 538, and at 60 pounds he was getting speed at 263. And he said, you know, Perry, his draw length's about like mine.
Yeah.
And then he said he's got a mini wrench ferry test, and he's going to play with poundage. And then Jeff said,
I gotta film the wrench ferry stuff sooner than later.
And then Jeff said he's got 300 front weight.
Woo! All right, we're close. Here a crutch rocket's coming.
Yep. Jeff said he's getting 263 at 62 pounds. It's just crazy how the fad, we've talked about this a bunch, but how the fads of archery's come back around. I think Perry is saying that his is right at 14.7% FOC is what I'm thinking. Yep, FOC.
Throw me some wax. I don't know how to word this. I hate doing something I know is not right, but I can only do what they told me to do. This string, I mean, they'll be lucky if it shoots a few times. But y'all get to see TJ shoot it in a minute.
Oh, now wait a minute. I didn't sign up for that.
Workers' comp, man. I'm gonna lay the wax to this joker. It is dry, knotted. Looked like an old rat chewed on it for a few days.
The joker looked like it's been in the bottom of a barn for about 6 months.
Yeah. Get a little lubrication going here.
Maybe we ought to just test it on the draw board first.
I'm about scared to do that. And I mean, in all seriousness, it rarely happens, but you get a bow like this that's been dry fired and we've looked it over good and all that type of thing, but you never know what, the limbs are made out of fiberglass for the most part. And you dry fire one and all that energy don't go into anything except for them fiberglass limbs, and you never know what's. Back in the day, on the PSC had two 18-wheelers. They still got them. They mainly just use one to go to shows with now, but they used to take it to all the dealers. And on those things, they had an X-ray machine. And if the dealer had a limb they thought might be cracked, they would actually X-ray it. What about some sort of a rag or something to get all this dirt and dust off this thing?
That's probably going to be harder to find. How about a paper towel with a little water on it?
That'll work. Just a plain old paper towel is fine.
Here you go.
Gracias.
Oh Lord, Vanessa said if he gets hurt, I trust you to take care of him.
I'm trained in, well, you know how I'm a amateur tattoo artist and a semi-professional race car driver. Just kidding. I'm neither one of those. I did work at the hospital for 10 years, so we could probably take care of the old boy. But I'd make sure we got it on camera before we went into medical alert.
Average Joe asks, how do you adjust brace height on a Matthews LX?
Brace height?
Yeah.
You don't.
I wonder if he means by like if it's coming in a little short or a little long is what I'm thinking.
You mainly by the bus cable. Just a little bit of twisting on the bus cable will shorten up the axle and lengthen the brace height, and vice versa. But we had a guy call us a while ago, and he's like, my axle is an 1/8 inch too long, and we asked him a bunch of different questions. And so usually if the axle is long, the brace height's short. And then I look at three things when I'm in a situation like that. I look at axle, brace height, and poundage. Usually the shorter the brace height, the higher the poundage, and you can adjust from there with the cables. But on like a solo cam like that, you're going to just have that one bus cable, and that's going to make a huge difference playing with it. But that's sort of the three things to look at. And usually when I check and I got the right brace height, I'm within a 1/16 on the brace height, I'm within a 1/16 on the axle, and my poundage is hitting max weight within about 2 pounds. Like usually if it's a 70-pound bow, I like it to be between like 69.5 and 72. That's sort of my variance, maybe a little higher. When we get these prime bows in, they don't just say 70 pounds anymore. They'll say like 72.1 or 73.4 or whatever they actually are on them. But anyway, hopefully that helped somewhat. This thing is dirty. Maybe we should charge him for like a
cleaning fee.
Yeah. Alright, that's good enough. Y'all might get to witness the bow blow up on live.
After all.
Whatever. I'm gonna let tension off. Cover yourself. I'm on the cam track. I'm on the cam track. We good. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to the draw board and stay at a safe distance and just see if the old girls are gonna hold together. I'm gonna take one more peek. Actually, that cam is leaning way over. I'm gonna put some twist in one side of that cable.
You sure it ain't warped?
No, they don't look warped.
No.
All
right.
It's just over.
Because it just looks like this bottom lobe right here.
Look at it from your side.
It looks like that bottom lobe kind of comes.
It's hard to say. I mean, I see what you're saying. Maybe like a straight edge. There's an arrow that'll work. It'll fit up in there. Not really.
There's X impact up here. That should fit.
From this angle, it does look a little bit sketchy.
Well, there was. There it is.
Let's say it does. It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell, but it just look. Here you go. See if it X impact work.
I think we are. Let's pull it back.
You gonna put a twist in that yoke?
Yeah, let's do that.
Because I can see us getting over there and it daggone derailing.
I think it's almost 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. Well, we didn't get started till late today.
Yeah. Looks better. Let's pull it back. In all seriousness, we are going to back up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you never know. She's hitting peak weight. Right here is where I get nervous when you get into that end of that draw cycle and all them limbs are loaded up. Uh-oh.
Oh, Lord.
The timing is way out of whack. Ease her back down.
Easy.
I don't think they got. Let me take a gander. We hit our draw weight. They got that on A. They got that on A. A. It's on A. This ain't on A. Hang on a minute.
Draw stop not on, or.
Yeah, it's got that limb stop on this bow.
Yeah.
And the cable stop. And the cable, the limb stop ain't right.
Gotcha. I thought there for a minute, well, y'all might get to see some.
You still might.
Well, that's true. Get to see some exciting footage.
Firework.
I wonder if it's ever been done on YouTube Live.
Oh, I'm sure. Remember that guy, the gearhead? They forgot to put the limb stops on.
But I don't think he was live.
That's true. I don't think he was either. All right, so we know we're hitting our peak weight. Now we just got to see if we get any live action. Stand by.
I don't hear no popping and cracking.
If you just tuned in, we got a bow that came in, exploded, dry fired. It looked okay, but the strings were off of it just by a physical or a quick overlook. It looks to be okay, but we don't know. So we backed up. We got it on the drawing board. We hope it don't blow up, but it could.
No, Jeff, you didn't miss the bow vice answer. We
good. We good. The cams are they pretty much timed. I'm leaving it alone.
We know to draw back.
Yep.
Without exploding, so
I
we're
just
good.
need to put a jump rest on it, and this guy can do whatever he wants to do with it. He said he didn't care nothing about it being tuned or nothing, as long as it was draw back.
I feel sorry for the fellow who is about to.
The strings are what scare me more than anything.
This is the OMP vice, is what he's using right now.
Are we gonna have another? We never have this. What is a good right here?
Uh-oh.
Oh man. All right. What is it with everybody having this stuff on too tight tonight? Where's that yellow? Let me go back to it. I ain't even, we're gonna have the same problem.
Uh-oh.
Look in there. They didn't work on that joker.
Oh yeah, it's boogered. Break out the vice grips.
Come on, baby.
Sorry guys, I hit the
We're good.
tripod with my foot, and so people with big feet probably have the same problem.
I bet you wear a big sock. Where's that old jump rest we're gonna put right here?
Right yonder.
This is an old PSC. The PSCs used to come cut out with a special V in the riser. That one ain't gonna fit.
Daggum it.
We'll find something else. Anyway. He's got a nice stabilizer on here. I'll give him that.
Give him, well, I don't think we got the bracket. We can give him the old muzzy.
Oh Lord, no.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Beautimus. Yeah, we got enough room for it. Oh yeah. But anyway. Just see if it's close. I would like it, I'm gonna tell this guy, whoever you're trading this to, you should probably have these people. I don't know if that's gonna hold an arrow. Nope. No go on that one. Tell them to bring it back. We're gonna need some strings, a good thorough tuning.
Perry said this was some great cheap entertainment for bow work, grunting, and hammers, and one eye closed.
That's right.
You need another red?
Yeah. Maybe from the 1980s era. Well, oh, a quick tune. Golden Key Futura. Now we're talking. If we just had Jackie here to complain the whole time.
Yeah.
He left right before we fired up. Man don't like to be filmed.
You remember when we had him on the podcast?
Yeah. That was a nervous Nelly.
Yeah, he was.
Poor little feller. Alright. That's as far as we're going with that one.
Mm-hmm.
You show them this vice.
I showed him the OMP.
So the OMP, if you're not familiar with it, you loosen it up with this little handle, and you can move this bow any which way and lock it down, and so it's cool. So like I can move it, you know, somewhere and get in front of the peep side, or I can level it. I like it a lot. The Baker vise is probably our favorite, but also the most expensive, but it holds it by the grip, and it can also hold like an AR-15 or a crossbow or whatever. Same sort of theory. It's got a ball head here, and you just tighten it up, put it wherever. And then these, they're made like an apple vise, and I can show you the difference in a minute, but these are those American archery. I think if you type in American archery vise, it'll pop up on Google. But I want to say they're $50-ish, maybe a little more, but around $50. And the limb, you know, sits in there. You can move it. You can loosen this and get all your access stuff. It's not as easy as those other two, but they're like $50 instead of a couple $100, so they work. And then pretty much Apple vise is the same thing, but and then
what about our other one up here on the front counter? Which one is
it's
it?
the OMP.
OMP.
And then there's a, bring them over here. I don't see many of these anymore, but they still make them. It's an RS vise. It clamps the limb. They make a wider clamp now for the wider limbs, and you can twist this and get your stuff level, and this whole thing will pivot back and forth. We hardly, really, never ever use this unless every vise in here's got somebody on it working on something. And I think they're 150-ish. Anyway, let's. I don't think there's anything else to do tonight, but thank y'all for watching. We had heck of a time with y'all. Originally, this is what we wanted Thursday nights to be, but I was like, I don't know how good this is going to be with us trying to move around and film, and I'm sure, like, compared to us sitting there with a microphone on, I know the audio sucks, but at least you got to see some cool stuff. And from now on until about September, we're gonna have some crazy stuff dropped off. Blown up bows and crossbows and God knows what. So maybe we'll try to do some of that on Thursday night to make it interesting. But glad the PSC didn't explode on us. Dry fired, drew back, put it back together. The timing looks good. The timing marks look good. The whole 9 yards. It hit its poundage. We got the bear done. Waiting on him to pick it up and play with it a little bit when he gets here. And then
KJ said he's late to the party.
Man, you missed a good party.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, I think I'm gonna go eat some macaroni and cheese and call it a night. But thank y'all for tuning in. What you gonna eat?
Probably beanie weenies.
Oh, God. Easy, son. But thank y'all for tuning in. We will be back with a podcast Tuesday. We probably won't do a live one this time. We'll pre-record it like normal, and then we'll go from there. So, got some cool videos coming up. I just got to put them together, and with this increase of bows dropped off, it's gotten a little harder to get them together, but we'll get them. We got the ranch fairy to put together, a couple walk back tuning things we want to do. So anyway, got a couple primes to restring. People always like the primes because they're different. They're watching the videos of them. What else? All kind of stuff. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully we at least gave you a little bit of entertainment during all this craziness.
Yeah.
And we'll try to do it again.
Yep.
So see y'all next time.
See ya.
I think you hit the little X up there, yeah.
Are you sure?